This is my new favorite tool of 2024, especially when it comes to calendar management. And this is what you see on screen right now, and it is the software or application called Vimcal. Based on research, Vimcal has already been a software for the past few years already, but it's just now that I'm starting to learn about this application. When I first heard about Vimcal, they already had this software wherein there are amazing features that will definitely improve your calendar management. But they created a new one which is called Vimcal EA, and it has more features that are answering and targeting the pain points of executive virtual assistants. The nice thing about the features also for Vimcal EA is that it created features that when you use a typical Google Calendar, you'd have to use different softwares out of Google Calendar or Microsoft Outlook to be able to use those features, like creating polls and creating meeting slots. Hi everyone, my name is Mia and I'm an executive virtual assistant since 2021. Prior to being an executive virtual assistant, I did not have any experience in being a freelancer or a virtual assistant. After a few years of being an executive assistant, I was promoted to an operations manager, which means I've been handling a team of at least 15 executive virtual assistants and working closely with their clients as well. And one of the most challenging tasks that I do as an executive VA as well as the other executive virtual assistants is calendar management. That's why I'm very thankful that Vimcal EA is now available for executive virtual assistants. So if you are a client and you are watching this video, this is the first tool that you need to subscribe to for your executive virtual assistant. So you can already see the Vimcal desktop app here on our screen right now. So let me show you the first feature that is amazing in this application. Let's start off by saying that as long as you have either a Google Calendar or a Microsoft Outlook calendar, then you can already integrate that here on your Vimcal. Nice thing also with this is if your client already or your executives already gives you a full access to their calendar, you don't actually need to inform them that you are connecting their calendar to Vimcal. That's because they wouldn't need the approval anymore because they've already given you initial approval through your Google Calendar or your Microsoft Outlook calendar or any other type of calendar software that you're currently using. Next thing that's amazing is as soon as you log into your account, it will already mirror everything that's in your current or existing calendar. Anything that you also create or edit within Vimcal is immediately mirrored or reflected in your Google Calendar or Outlook calendar. Again, this is how Vimcal looks like. It's currently on dark mode because I love dark mode. Doesn't strain my eye. So the first feature that's very important here is that you can actually toggle or switch between the current calendar that you're using. So as you can see here, I created the EVA Academy by MJ account specifically for training. But I can also switch to the main calendar, which is my Mia Juan at the MJPH calendar. So if you have multiple clients, you can switch between clients or between accounts to make it the current calendar within your Vimcal view so that whatever edits that you create on your current calendar is the one that would only be affected. The other calendars that are available here will not be affected since the current calendar in our screen right now is EVA Academy by MJ at gmail.com. Another amazing thing with Vimcal before we dive into the features is that you can have multiple time zones on the same screen. You can only have a maximum of 2 views or 2 time zones. That would be your primary and your secondary time zones. But with Google Calendar, you can have a maximum of 5. So you have your primary time zone here as PHT or Philippine Standard Time, and then you can add 4 more. So for example, we have PST, we have Eastern, we can add London, and then we can add Dubai for Gulf Standard. So here you have the different views. So you have 5 views that you can, or 5 time zones that you can view all at once in your calendar. Now, as you can see here, everything is grayed out, which means they don't have matching times or regular working hours that matches because they're all in different time zones. But if, for example, we can put in Dubai, which is not a totally opposite time zone as the Philippines, you would see that there is a grayed out slots, which means this is outside of the regular working hours. So probably our regular hours would be between 8 to 5 or 8 to 6. So it will only show you the similar working hours, meaning it's between 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Gulf Standard Time and 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. Philippine Standard Time, which means these are the slots that you can create meeting that are within the working hours of both time zones. So that's the time zone feature of our Vimcal, which is great because you don't see this on any calendar platform or software, whether it be Gmail or Outlook. So let's remove our GST and let's look at the other features. So the next feature is creating or selecting your availability or available meeting slots for your client. So just click the button here below that says availability. Or as you can see here, you can easily click the letter A and it will already open the availability slot. So we can click this for availability. And here are the different features. We have slots, or we can create meeting slots. We can create personal links, and we can also create group votes. We will go through each and every one of them. But for this video, we will talk about these slots. For the other videos, please wait for them to be uploaded in the next few weeks. So let's go back to this main screen and I will show you that if you press letter A, it will also open to the availability features. There you go. So we clicked letter A and here we have the slots feature. So when we are creating slots, you can see here on top, this is where the slots, the AI will show depending on the slots that you will create. And this is the portion also that you will copy and paste to your email. So we'll find that out later on. Or you will see it auto-populated once we select the slots. The next portion here is what we call find time. So this is an AI integrated in Vimcal that will actually already suggest times for you. So let me show you. Just click on find times. And here you will see the green area or the green boxes. And these are the suggestions of AI based on the available meeting slots in your calendar. You can choose to find times here. They have suggestion. For example, you only want it to be in the mornings. So you can click and move everything in the mornings. You can also move everything in the afternoon. Since our current calendar is the first week of September, or I believe second week of September, you can choose to move to the next week. There you go. That's September 16. And then you can also check on current work week, which is August 27th. But I haven't created any sample events on this view. And then you can also have weekend view. So since everything is available, it will provide you with different meeting slots. And then we also have an option too for your calendar to randomly select. So let's look at next week's. So here are all where the sample events are. So that's find times. As you use Vimcal regularly, it will recognize the time slots that you usually create for your client, so it will provide you with better suggestions. Now here you can also see a button that says previously sent. So if you've already created any meeting slots before, you can see previously sent meeting slots here. So this is the sample that I created, and you can see that you can reuse these meeting slots. You can either archive or you can also reuse these slots. And as I mentioned earlier, we already, or the AI already found times for us or suggested times for us. And it actually auto-populated this area. And this is the email template that you can copy and paste to your email and send it out to the person who wants to meet with your client. So let's exit this out so that I can show you how to manually select the meeting slots. Okay, so now that we're here, let's click on A again to open the availability slots, and then let's find the meeting slots for your client. So for example, the person who would like to meet with your client is MJPH under MJ Weddings. Perfect. And then the name that will show here would be MJPH since they are the invited ones. Whatever contacts that are in your client's calendar and email will be automatically be available under attendees as well. If it's not available, you just can manually input the person's email. So now that we already have here, let's leave the duration at 30 minutes, but you can also send this to, or you can put this into 15, 25, 30, 45, or 60. So let's keep it at 30. And then you also have options to link your client's Zoom, Google Meet, phone, or no conferencing if it's going to be an in-person meeting. So since I haven't connected any of my accounts to Vimcal yet, we can keep it at no conferencing. But all you have to do is go to settings and just click on conferencing so that you can link in your Zoom or Google Meet accounts. Now with Vimcal, it is also integrated, or the location is powered by Google Maps. So you can input any location, just make sure that you know the address and you know it correctly so that you can input it here. For example, we are looking at McDonald's, New York. So there, let's say it's Times Square. See it auto-populates to that one, and it already provides you with the address based on the Google Map address. Now you can choose, since again our main calendar or our default calendar right now is EVA Academy by MJ. Now the next feature here is the ignore all conflicts. So you can see here that we already have events. So if your client says that it's okay to have an event over or to have a meeting over lunch break, then you can put in a meeting slot, or you can choose this as a meeting slot, and you just have to make sure to toggle the ignore all conflicts so that once we provide this link to whoever wants to meet your client, they can still choose this timeline because Vimcal can see that you ignored any conflicts. But if you close this radio button here, it will not provide this slot to the client or to the person that would like to meet with your client. You can still have it there in the calendar since you already chose it as a slot, but when the person clicks on this link, they wouldn't be able to see it since there is a conflict in your existing calendar. So let's choose the meeting slots. For example, we have this. We have also one in the afternoon. There you can see we already have this conflict. So we are going to keep the ignore conflicts radio button off so that you can see the sample wherein it wouldn't be able to choose that slot. And then let's have 2 hours here and there. So you can see it already provided you with the email template. All you have to do is click on copy clipboard. Once you copy this clipboard, this portion will disappear. Okay, but I would like you to see here, it says create hold slots. So we have these holds for this particular person, MJPH. Now, you have to make sure before, when this wasn't available, I manually put in the holds. Why do we have holds? It's because we want to avoid giving that same meeting slot to another person who would like to meet with your client. Because the scenario might be, or the issue might be, they choose the same meeting slot, so you need to cancel one of those meetings. And we don't want that to happen because we're just wasting the time of the person that would like to meet with your client. So what we're going to do is we're going to create holds for the slots, and then let's put in a different color. Let's choose Sage, and then hold for MJPH. And then we copy to clipboard. And once it's copied, this is going to disappear. There. It disappeared, but you can see that there are already holds. Now let's move our screen to our email. Okay, now that we are on our email, all you have to do is paste the one that you copied on the clipboard, and then remember that there is a conflict on September 6th. So all you have to do, so I can show you that the conflict will not show on the Vimcal booking slot. Let's click this one and it will open to the booking slot. As you can see here, there's no option for this for September 6th. Now you can say, you're gonna say September 3, September 4. Why does it show September 2 and September 3 here? That's because the calendar on Vimcal is on Philippine time. So, and my computer time is on Eastern Standard Time. So that's why it's showing Eastern Standard Time here on the screen, but it only shows PHT time here. Now, we can change this so that even on the email, your client or the person who wants to meet with your client already can view the Eastern time through that email template. Let's go back to Vimcal. So we are back here on Vimcal. All we have to do is go back to the select availability. Previously sent, this is the one that we just created right now. So let us reuse this slot. Now we're going to select or show every time zone. What we're going to do is under the time zone here, or you can click letter Z to show the time zones. Let's click on EDT or New York or Eastern Standard Time. And then it will show already the time slots there. You can see that there is an option for EDT and PHT. So let's copy this on our clipboard. Let's go back to our email. Let's delete this one and paste. There they can already see the time for Eastern Standard Time as well as the Philippine time, since they know that they will be meeting with someone from the Philippines. Okay, and then they can choose from here. Okay, so remember that we placed holds on our calendar on Vimcal. So once the client chooses a time, for example, they choose this time, click on confirm. MJPH, email is mjweddingsph@gmail.com. Let's schedule the event. Let's go back to Vimcal. You will see that the holds will disappear since the person we're meeting with or your client will be meeting with already chose the meeting slot. Yeah. So this was 2 colors earlier, remember, because we created a new one with the view that shows Eastern Standard Time. That's why it already disappeared. But let's open this up and get the booking link. And let's go back. and let me show you that it will also disappear once we choose a meeting slot. Okay, so let's choose 9:30 p.m. Confirm MJPH MJ Weddings PH at gmail.com. And let's go back to Vimcal. And there you go. See that the events are already here. Those 2 meeting slots that we created. Perfect. And that's how easy you can create meeting slots manually here on Vimcal. For the other videos, please wait for them to be uploaded in the next few weeks.